Look at the sheer scale of modern data infrastructure. Data teams spend massive amounts of time and budget to provision and maintain these systems. Eventually, the CFO is going to look at the escalating capital expenditure required to keep all this running and ask a very simple question: what is our return on this investment? Faced with that question, most data teams point to their engineering output. They list hundreds of pipelines shipped, data warehouses governed, and dashboards deployed. But a dashboard is not a financial return. Tracking technical output completely fails to tell the finance department if those tools actually reduced operational costs or generated new revenue. The reality is that data, on its own, does not drive business outcomes. It acts strictly as an enabling layer for the human operations that do. This creates a measurement problem. Engineering a mathematically sound way to quantify the value of a purely indirect asset is notoriously difficult. The time lag between building a pipeline and a business unit using it to close a deal can be months. To successfully measure your return on investment, you have to abandon activity metrics completely and build a system that tracks impact. We can do this by defining the two distinct vectors of data ROI and then constructing a deterministic four-step framework to quantify them. Without making this shift in measurement, executive leadership will never see the data team as a strategic partner. They will only see a cost center. When it comes to the mechanics of measurement, direct attribution structurally fails in data analytics. There is an assumption that deploying a new predictive model or recommendation engine directly and immediately causes revenue growth. Trying to draw a direct line between an engineering output and a financial outcome breaks down. To fix the connection, we map the intermediate steps. A data tool automates a manual process, which accelerates a human decision, which finally impacts revenue. This mapping gives us the first vector of our valuation model, hard ROI. These are the directly quantifiable outcomes that you need to present to secure your capital budget. Hard ROI relies on undeniable metrics. You can calculate the exact dollar amount saved by automating a manual reporting workflow or tracking the reduction in operational errors. The second vector is soft ROI. It is harder to assign a precise dollar value to, but it plays a crucial role in building organizational data culture and securing long-term stakeholder trust. Soft ROI includes the accelerated velocity of cross-functional decision-making, shorter onboarding times for analysts, and increased executive confidence during financial reviews. You must track both of these vectors concurrently. Hard ROI justifies the initial infrastructure expense to the CFO, while soft ROI guarantees the system's ongoing adoption by the employees. Using this dual ledger approach takes the subjective benefits of working with data and translates them into an objective financial and operational reality. To consistently capture that reality, we can apply those vectors to a four-step deterministic execution framework, represented by this matrix. Step 1 is to tie investments to outcomes up front. Before you allocate a single engineering hour to a new pipeline, you must rigidly document the exact business problem it solves and the specific metric it is designed to move. Step 2 is establishing a baseline before you build. You have to map out exactly how long the current, flawed process takes and how much manual effort it requires. Consider a real-world logistics company. Their operations team was spending 4 full hours every week manually compiling delay reports. That block of time is our baseline. Step 3 requires measuring the process again after launch. This allows you to track the specific operational delta between that baseline and the new post-launch state. After this logistics company launched an automated delay prediction dashboard, that weekly report compilation dropped from 4 hours to just 15 minutes. This allowed for earlier interventions that improved on-time delivery by 8%. The company captured a secondary benefit. They reallocated the analyst who compiled the reports to focus entirely on higher-value operational modeling. Finally, step 4 is to aggregate these individual wins across projects. You build a localized investment log that tracks the engineering costs against the measured impact over time. For the logistics team, the aggregated annual value of the time saved and the improved delivery rates vastly eclipsed the combined cost of the software tool and the engineering time required to build it. Applying this strict 4-step methodology turns isolated anecdotal successes into a rigorous, reproducible P&L justification that leadership clearly understands. Even with a sound framework, there are critical operational failure states that will completely undermine your valuation if left unchecked. Look at this ledger of common pitfalls. The first error is evaluating data initiatives strictly on the infrastructure cost required to run them, while completely ignoring the corresponding value they create. The second is deferring your ROI measurement to an annual review. Value must be tracked continuously, not reconstructed from memory 12 months later. But the most dangerous trap is the output illusion, confusing high user adoption of a tool with positive business impact. Just because an operations team opens a dashboard every day does not mean that dashboard is improving their decisions. Quantifying your return on investment is not an abstract philosophy exercise. It is a strict accounting of the specific business levers that changed because of your discrete data investments. If you are implementing this for the first time, start small. Pick a single, highly constrained project, baseline it, and measure the outcome. That first proof point is usually all you need. Mastering intentional ROI measurement is the definitive threshold for a data team. It is how you transition from operating as a reactive technical resource to leading with